Well, it happened again. I found an auction. Found something I had to have, so we gotta go back and get it. I didn't have enough stuff with me, so I'm gonna go to the service truck. I'm pretty sure I have what I need in there, but we'll get started on that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and I happened upon an auction this morning, and as usual, it's pretty easy to talk myself into, you know, something that I can't live without. That's what happened. I didn't give much for it, and it's kind of neat, and it's something that I have looked at before when I've seen them for sale on Facebook, and then they're usually far away, and I think I'm not gonna fool with it because who knows if it'll even work for what I have in mind. But there was one today on this auction, and I thought, hey, it doesn't get any closer than this. I might as well get it and try it. So we will get back to town. I had to get I need a hitch that has a clevis on it, and I had one in the service truck. But like I said, I did not come prepared this morning to buy anything today. I went to town to get some metric bolts for the little Fiat water pump project, and I ended up, at this auction, and then bought this thing, and didn't have the right kind of hitch. Need a jack. They happen to have a handyman jack for sale there, so I bought that, but then I still had to run home to get the hitch because nobody in town had one. But anyway, we will see about that. I'm hoping that the tires hold up to get it home. They seem like they still had some air in them, so that's always good when they're only half flat. So we're gonna get working on that as soon as we get there. This is kind of a trick to get back here where we need to go. That's partially another benefit of leaving and coming back, is I thought maybe some people would clear out some of this little stuff, but I don't know, friends. We gotta go way back here. Try not to hit anything, and then hope we can physically make this possible. We're gonna have to go, I don't know. Let's assess the situation. I tried to buy that just because I thought it's cool, and it's gonna go on auction time probably, so maybe get a second chance at it. But a mechanical trip field cultivator, that's kind of neat. What about this? The old Heston stack hand, or not stack hand, I think they call these stack movers. And I've always thought they were kind of neat, and I was thinking moving around hay bales when you wouldn't have to take your loader tractor everywhere. You could load up some on here, run them down, unload them, and then every so often run your loader tractor down, and you know what I'm saying. All right, well, I see that. Oh. Yeah, so we need to put our hitch in, which I did have at home. Need to get a little bit more square. And I guess we own all this stuff on the back, but I don't know about that, if I really want it or not. Tires probably yes, but I want to get it pulled out in the driveway so we can assess our tire situation. You see, that's perfect, but not perfect. How heavy is it? Oh, hey, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, shit. Okay, good. It's liftable by hand. I just need to pull up slightly. Come on. Well. Now I need to back up. Oh, we're gonna get it now. Let's pull it out of there. Forgot you were stuck there. Let's air up some tires and hope that we're gonna make it. But it is like someone else said, at least they're common tires. It's not something unique. So if we had to have a spare, we could. This, I'm gonna bless this person. They can have that. We'll find something for these garden tractors, probably. Maybe that stuff will ride. I don't know. We'll see how bad it bounces. Then we'll inevitably end up throwing that in the truck. But yeah, let's make it look like we care about safety. We don't, but we're gonna make it look like we do. You know? We just do that. That. Oh yeah, safety. Safety. Boys, I think she's gonna air up. 19. I think that's good enough. I don't think we want to push our luck with rotten tires. Got one lug bolt part way out. We're gonna ignore that. All we gotta do is get it home. We can assess the failure there. This one looks bad. So that means it's still got another 15 years in Iowa years, but hopefully it will take some air. So see, the beauty behind this is it's supposed to be tilt bed. The cylinder's missing. We'll have to put one in. But you tilt bed it up to a stack of stuff like loose hay, and then it has a hydraulic motor and it runs these floor chains real slow and pulls that stack up on there. My thinking was the opposite of that. I want to, like I said, stack round bales on it, pull it over to where I store the round bales with a non-loader tractor and just unload it go back and get more, and then when I get a good amount there, run the loader tractor back over and arrange them. I got less in this than I do in buying a second spear. You know, then I could carry 2 at a time on my loader tractor, but I'm thinking that if this remotely even works a little bit, it'll be the way to go. Plus, it'll be another fun thing to play with that probably nobody ever saves, you know? Agriculture history here, and I think that's neat. So yeah. Probably before we ever try to run it, we should probably just soak her down with used oil very liberally, you know what I mean? Like screaming about Russia the whole time we're doing it. Still a little flat. $14. I should have bought that thing for parts. It's the next size smaller than mine, and it only brought like 180 bucks. But the equipment guy bought it, so I'm sure it will end up on auction time for a lot more than what he paid for it, because I think that was a screaming deal. I mean, there's lots of parts on there I could have made work, but all right, the camera's too hot and so am I, but I think we're gonna roll with it. We got air in it. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna get me some beverage out of my cooler here, and then we're gonna hit the bricks. Hit the road, I guess would be the better term to use. Let's see how bad this handles down the road. We might ought to stick to some back roads here for the first leg of the trip, just to make sure that this is actually going to work. Plus, there's 2 places along this road that I can ditch this thing if there is a problem. And that is an important plan to have. I noticed that since that cylinder's missing, there's apparently nothing that's keeping it from tilting other than that guy's extremely rotten ratchet strap that he has tied. And so it keeps bouncing. And I'm gonna hope that she don't bounce too hard. Probably should have moved that pallet full of garbage up towards the front. But that would have required effort, and I'm not into that. I'm into doing the minimum possible. Boy, I tell you, it's hammering away back there. I'm not gonna stop and look and see what it is. I'm just gonna keep going until something falls off. But it is beating the tar out of something. I would say that's the hitch in the truck rattling around in the holder. I noticed hauling stuff with this truck, I wonder if my Reese hitch is about wore out, because it seems like it does that with all the stuff. Got a lot of wear in that trailer hitch, so we might have to put a new one on, or not. We just turn up the radio. Well, we'd have to get the radio fixed though, that's the problem. So yeah, just keep hammering back there, buddy. Something will happen, don't worry. There's a big festival going on in town, so we don't want to interrupt that. It'd be kind of embarrassing. Travis Tritt was here last night, so a lot of activity in a small town. Well, you just keep on hammering. Jeez. Probably I'm exceeding the speed that it. Well, we're almost done on the highway. I found that the ideal speed to pull it is about 23.4 miles an hour. You go a little faster, it starts hopping. Like right now, I'm going a little bit faster than that, and it's starting to bounce. You go too slow and it hammers. So you gotta just keep a steady 23.4 miles an hour. Then it won't be so bad. So hopefully when we get to the county road, we won't have quite so much traffic, because up until now, it's been constant cars behind me and in front of me, here come two now. Try to stay out of the way. But the ones behind me, I mean, you should be able to see that that's a rickety piece of shit. I mean, do you really want to tailgate me when one of those things falls off from that singular ratchet strap I put on there? People have no common sense. I mean, leave a car length or two or three between you and a piece of equipment is what I'm saying. Or on the home stretch, and once again, if you're not going 23.4, it starts hammering and knocking and stuff. We got to try to keep it right up to that speed, and it'll run pretty smooth. It'll be a lot better when you got that cylinder in there. It'll keep the deck from bouncing around. But yeah, it's sailing along. I haven't seen anything fall off of it yet. All right, another pile of nonsense made it back here. And I know you're thinking, what in the world, you know? But like I said, this is one of those things that you just don't see around here at all. And I feel like it's one of those things that gets scrapped first, and it's part of agriculture history, and I think that's neat. People never save implements, and I like implements, and this is sort of a, I mean, it's amazing that they would even make something for such a limited market, I would think. Now maybe out west or somewhere they do this more often. I know there was an actual stack chopper thing that blew it into a box, and it had these on the floor, and then you dumped it out the back, the stack hand, you know, and then you had a big haystack out there in the field, and then in the winter when you wanted to go get it, you took this trailer and you loaded it back up. But that just never was a thing around here. And yeah, you know, the auctioneer sold it with the idea that, hey, you could move rollaway sheds, you know. I don't know if it would do that or not, but I've seen videos of them and I thought they were neat. And I thought, like I said, for me, moving around bales, I could probably get, looking at it now, I could probably get more than, I was thinking I could get 3, but I bet I can get 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I've seen guys have them and then have some stacked on top. But if I could stack them on here, you know, and then run it back home with a tractor that didn't have a loader and just unload it, go back and get another one, it'd save me some running back and forth with my loader tractor, because I know I could put a spear on other loader tractors, but again, I've got less in this than what it's going to cost for a spear, so it probably needs a couple hoses, and then it needs a cylinder on it, and I bet you she'll go. I would try it today in this video, but I really feel like the best course of action would be to soak all these chains with oil before trying to move it. I've got buckets of oil we drained out of all those projects we've done, and I think if I cut like a Gatorade bottle, I could make a fairly good sized scoop to go along here and just pour some oil on all the chains, and you know what I'm saying there. So I think that I did all right. Like I said, I don't have that much in it. It's a neat little thing that you just don't see that often, and other than one missing cylinder, basically all we're gonna have to do is make us some hoses and we'll be in business, you know. So I'm, like I said, I didn't go to plan to buy this. I didn't plan on getting anything at all at that auction, but you know, I even showed up 2 hours late so that I didn't buy anything, because I could have bought a lot more garbage. But this is kind of what I wanted, and I ended up with it. So we will, in future videos, get this lined out and you know, figure out what we need. I assume that these are probably like somehow spring loaded, or maybe they're tight. Oh, I think they have adjusters the way it looks, so you can tighten each chain. But pretty neat. I don't know what model it is. I think some of them were stack hand, or what do they call them? Stack mover 30s. But I've also seen some that had, like, on the inner two things, had like little tank tracks to help pull it backwards into the pile when you were running the floor chain. So I don't know if that was an option on them, or if that was a totally different model, or if that was all homemade on that one I saw. I don't know. But definitely, you know, oil, clean that up. Coat of paint wouldn't hurt it to preserve it. But we'll see. That's another project for some time. We don't have to do anything with it, but we saved it from doom, and that is always the first step. You know, if it casts a shadow, it can be restored, but if it doesn't exist, you can't do much with it. So, and if it doesn't pan out as what it's made for, it would make a dandy little trailer, you know. Put a floor on it and be done with it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Maybe it's not that interesting to some of you, but like I said, I like implements and I like innovation that people had in agriculture, and stuff like this interests me, and I like to save it, you know. Stuff like, I've always talked about that before. I'd like to have a roto baler. I think that's a neat piece of mechanical engineering and different things like that, you know. Those John Deere Sidewinder balers, I always thought those were cool. Not necessarily Oliver related stuff, but just neat agriculture inventions that, you know, are a part of the bigger story, but a lot of people don't feel the need to save stuff like this, but I do, so here it is. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment, and that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.